All right, man. Welcome to the Salty Ones podcast. This is the very first episode. Today, you guys are being joined by the co-host. I go by the name of Meek, and my co-host Cheese. Cheese, how about you introduce yourself to the people?
Uh, Hello. I'm technically Cheese. That's my Discord name. Y'all don't get a name revealed just yet. I'm co-hosting the podcast with yours truly, Meek.
Yes, sir.
And yeah,
All right, man. Hey, when starting this podcast, bro, like for me, man, I'm an anime YouTuber. I've been doing YouTube for about 2.5 years, and I've been watching a lot of other podcasts for the past year or so. And I kind of wanted to start a podcast with my homie Cheese right here because seeing other people like literally my age, like we're young, we're both in college. Seeing people at our age starting podcasts, creating communities, and making a living off of it kind of inspired me. So I guess to begin, let's talk about like how we started this podcast. Even though it's episode one, man, there's a lot of things that go into making a podcast. And I remember like we were in a Discord call talking about, yo, let's start a podcast. How'd you feel about that when I first asked you about it?
no, well, like, cause I remember when you asked me about it, and I remember like vaguely that we had ideas. You remember when like you were doing Attack on Titan stuff?
Yeah.
I vaguely like remember like asking you like, hey, like, don't you think we should do like a live stream and like with like a bunch of people and you kind of ask their opinion on like the season so far. I think that's where like the conversations kind of really started. This was like back in 2021 too. Like this wasn't even. This was like way before. Like I'm pretty sure like Attack on Titan even ended like the manga.
Yeah.
So I think at that point we were just kind of trying to, hey, let's just kind of see or give like our overall opinion on what our thoughts are for like the episode so far.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
and I think that that's kind of what sparked it. But then like kind of conversation just kind of like stopped after that.
Yeah, man.
And then, they didn't reappear until recently. Oh, sorry for interrupting you.
That's cool. That's cool, man. Don't worry. Keep
But,
going.
It was towards like mid-August too. Like we were on a call, and then he brings it up, and then I was like, considering the fact that like we talk about things like anime, music, sports, like with just like the two of us mainly, like it would be perfect because we could venture out to do different things. You're an anime YouTuber, so your content's very limited.
Yeah, that's true, man. Talking about anime all the time can get very drawn out.
Yeah.
I get very tired talking about it like 24/7. As much as I love it, bro, I feel like a lot of people, like especially that are so into anime, they don't have other interests. And talking about
Right.
other stuff like sports and music and just
Right.
media in general, I feel like some people they don't get into that. And at least with me and you, for some context, we've known each other for years, bro. Like we went to middle school, went to high school
We went to
together.
middle school together.
Yeah, so like every time we met up, we'd always talk about sports or
Yeah.
whatever, music, basketball, you know what I'm saying, anime.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why we both wanted to start a podcast because every time we get in call, we spend like hours talking about stuff like this. So
Yeah,
I think
right.
it's the perfect opportunity to do something like this with us two, man. And hopefully, if we keep going, if we're consistent enough, we're able to grow this with a good audience, man. Because that's the one thing I really like about podcasts in general, especially with podcasts with kids that like are at our age. They have a lot of supporters, not just fans that really relate to them, and that's like my goal. And at least for me, I've been doing YouTube for about 2.5 years as an anime content creator. I met some pretty dope people online that only really talk about anime, and I want to venture out into other niches when it comes to content creation. So I think going into a podcast talking about anime and not just anime but sports and media and things of that nature, it's gonna be I think it's a dope opportunity, man. So I guess to go into our first topic, we're both basketball fans. I'm a Knicks fan, you're a Sixers fan. Fuck
Yep.
Philadelphia, by the way. I hate the Sixers.
Fuck New
But
York, man.
the Knicks are
Fuck
ass
New
as
York.
per usual. I mean, we're 3-4 right now at the time of this recording. The
I
NBA
think like
the
I think
N-
right now the Sixers are like 5-4. I'm not sure. On
some
that.
shit like that, yeah.
Yeah.
The NBA season has started this past November. How do you feel about the season so far?
Well, like just as a whole, or just like from my
From the
team,
start,
like-
from the start, from the start. Man, fuck the Sixers. Just
I mean, like again, it's such like a joy of relief, to finally have basketball again.
yeah,
Um, because it's like just a countdown to it. It's always just like so refreshing, and then you have things like the draft, and sure, it's like entertaining, but then that doesn't really fulfill it because you're just like seeing players that like not only go to your team but other teams as well. It's like so you're thinking like, oh, this team could be pretty good too.
Yeah. For me, like, I'm not too like for me. Like, I love basketball. I love watching it, but
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
not too crazy about watching the regular season. I'm a playoffs type of guy. Every time the playoffs come around, I watch every game. For the regular season,
Yeah,
I just
that's
watch
for
the
sure.
highlights because I have a life. No, I'm just
Right.
playing. I'm just playing. There's nothing wrong with watching regular season games because I
Right.
definitely do catch some games at night. But
Right.
I'm really excited for the season because I'm starting to realize like a lot of the young guys are really starting to blossom. So
Oh
for
yeah, they're starting to
example,
step up now.
John Morant, Luka
Oh, sure.
Doncic, even some of the rookies, man. I gotta say, Paulo Banchero is nice. I'm gonna be real. He's what Ben Simmons should have become. I watched
Dude,
Paulo play, and that guy is really, really nice. I think in his
yeah,
first 5 games he played, he dropped 20 plus points, which for a
yeah.
rookie that is very impressive. So
Dude, like
like,
especially for like your first achievement, dude, like hitting 20 points, that's very good.
yeah,
Like sure, that might not mean anything like in the long term because it's like, oh, like most superstars nowadays can hit 20 points and most all-stars can. But like especially for a rookie when you're playing against like, like those superstar caliber players, that can be very hard to do.
exactly. And considering that he's a number one pick, at
Oh,
least in
right,
the
yeah.
beginning of the
Because the
season,
target's on his back.
he's at least meeting expectations.
Yeah.
He's I think he's surpassing his expectations. Like considering
Yeah.
what people expect out of him. I've been
Hmm.
watching it. I've been seeing some highlights from him out of college. The dude, like
Hmm.
I already knew the dude was made to play in the NBA. And like I said, he's what Ben Simmons should have become.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons is a
Yeah.
fucking bitch at the end of the day.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
I'm
Yeah.
just playing. I'm playing.
Yes.
But I mean,
Yeah.
we'll get to Ben Simmons. We'll get to Ben Simmons. But
We'll get to that. Yeah.
Paulo is he's so nice to watch, bro. He reminds me of a young Carmelo with Ben Simmons type of play
What
style.
type of
Like,
athleticism?
you know what I'm saying? He can bring up the
Yeah.
ball, he can shoot, he can get to the rim. Very exciting to watch. Even though I'm not a Magic fan, seeing a young
Yeah.
player like that, he has, I'm not gonna lie, the potential that he has, the sky's the limit. I know it's kind of cliche to say, but it's true. Like, he
Yeah, because
has
like
so much potential, man. He can actually shoot, unlike Ben's garbage ass. No, I'm playing.
Yeah. Another thing that like to add is that like God, I don't even. I forgot what I was gonna say now. God damn it! Great, great first episode.
Oh,
But like, it also shows you just like how the game has also shifted because because the future is bright now. Really,
yeah.
like sure you got like all these like top talents like Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, but all that. But like what happens when those players are gone?
Exactly.
Like
And
it sets the stages for like the younger players, and hopefully they become superstars, and they become the faces of the NBA.
yep, that's
I'm,
true.
I'm just so upset though that Chet Holmgren got like hurt.
Oh man, I forgot to mention him. I feel bad
Yeah,
because
it's
he
not
got
so bad
injured
'cause
during
okay,
a summer league
like
game. No, it wasn't summer
yeah,
league
it
game. It was a pickup game.
was a pickup game. Yeah,
I forget what type of injury it was. It
it
was
was
something in
Frank
his foot.
injury.
I have no
Yeah,
idea what that is.
but
What
it's
is
like
that?
I don't know exactly. I'm a bio major. Like I don't know the full details, guys.
Is it in his foot or what?
It's
Foot
definitely in
injury?
his foot. Liz Frank does mean it's very severe though. Here, I can look
Ah.
it up right now.
No, you don't have to.
Um,
Don't worry about it. I would say though, like, I really wanted to see him play this year because he was also
yeah.
before he got injured, he had a lot of hype behind him,
Oh
and
yeah, for
I
sure.
had I heard a lot about the kid even before he went to college. He had a lot of
Mhm.
hype behind him in high school, so like seeing him like develop,
Yeah.
it sucks to see him injured, man. Injuries are just not a
The,
good
the
thing to
one
see, man.
the one clip I saw of him, like, because when like they were, like showing up like draft hype and everything like that, like they do that like a couple weeks before and everything,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to show like, one of the clips that they showed was him playing Steph Curry, and keep in mind he was like 16 years old.
Yeah, didn't he like clamp him up? And didn't he like work Curry on one possession? I
He
think I
did,
saw him.
he did pretty decent like against Curry, especially considering at the time like what, uh, it was like quite a bit ago. So like in the time that was like prime Steph Curry.
I mean, Curry's still in his prime, but I get
He's
I
definitely
get what
still
you're
in his
saying.
prime, but that's
I
like
know what you're
like
saying.
easily,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But like, hopefully, man, like I wanted to
yeah.
see him play like in the open
Yeah.
court during the NBA season. Of
Right.
course, he's skinny, so of course he's gonna have to put on some weight.
The Slim
Right.
Reaper.
Yeah, but yeah, man, injuries suck, bro. So hopefully he recovers. I don't even
Yeah.
think he's gonna play this season. He's out for this
He's
season,
not.
right?
Yeah, it said he's
So,
out for the season.
you know,
yeah.
he might be a Ben Simmons in terms of winning Rookie of the Year in his
Oh,
second
yeah.
year. You know what I'm saying?
That's very possible.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, I would say though a lot of the rookies and a lot of the younger guys are really blossoming. Like I said before,
Yeah.
Ja, Luca, Anthony Edwards. Zion is finally healthy. I saw him
Oh.
play the Lakers yesterday. I was actually
I
watching the
saw him. He
Pelicans
was doing
Lakers
pretty
game.
well.
Bro, he was getting to the rim, and like thing is like he's getting to the rim against like LeBron and shit. He don't give a fuck. And it's crazy, bro, because like he's only like 1 or 2 years older than like what 2 to 3 years older than us, and like he just
Yeah.
has the skill to just get to the rim. And for me,
Right.
like I kind of like look at a lot of young players coming up out of high school. And I'm not gonna lie, he's one of the very few players that has lived up to his expectations ever since he blew up with those mixtapes coming out of high school. Like, you know, have you ever
yeah.
seen them on Instagram and shit where he's just dunking on these little white boys, and then seeing him at Duke, and then killing it in the league, even though he's injured a lot. It's really exciting to see like him actually play to his potential. I definitely do think Zion, as long as he stays healthy, you know, because Zion has had injury problems.
Yeah, he's definitely had his injury.
And stays up to weights because Zion was fat as shit last year. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As long as he stays healthy, I really think he can become one of the best players in the league. In fact, I think he might get MVP in the next couple of years. Speaking of MVP candidates, I think a player like Luka and John Morant have a really good chance of winning the MVP. I saw an insane stat line in the first 7 games or so that Luka has played this season. He's dropped 30 or more points. I'm not gonna lie, Luka's special, man. I know like he was an MVP candidate for the past couple of years, even though he hasn't been really nominated because of other players like Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid. But I definitely do think he's a front runner for MVP, at least early into the NBA season.
Right.
We're less than 10 games in, but in his first 7 or 8 games, bro's been killing it. Of course, the Mavs aren't the greatest team. I know they picked up Christian Wood, which was a good addition. But at the end of the day, bro, like Luka's gonna Luka, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he's a very special player to watch. I would say though, like, okay, let's talk about the Lakers and Nets. How do you feel about the Lakers right now?
See, that's the problem. That I like. It's gonna be recency bias. Like I'm gonna say that they're terrible because they haven't been playing well, and all of a sudden like they're gonna go and on this like unbelievable run, and then somehow make the finals. Like, but like I honestly do think that they're not that good.
I agree. I don't think they're a good squad. At the time of this recording, they're 2-5. They won 2 games in a row, but they started the season 0-5, and that's not something to like gloss over, right? First of all, I'm gonna be real. I don't care how well Westbrook played last night against the Pelicans at the time of this recording. Trade that guy. Trade him away. I just don't care, bro. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Westbrook. I think he's a great player. I think he's an all-time Hall of Fame player, but he just does not fit the system that LeBron plays in. It's just a matter of fact. The way LeBron can win championships, especially if you look at the 2020 run that he had when he went out with the Lakers and AD, he had shooters around him. Kyle Kuzma, KCP, Danny Green. He had players that could shoot, and even though these players aren't the greatest players, they were able to get open and hit a 3. The Lakers right now, at least, I mean, when you look at basketball right now, the way to play, the way to win games is you need to be able to shoot. You need shooters. The best teams in the league have really good shooters. The Warriors, they have Curry and Clay. The Bucks, they have Chris Middleton. The Celtics, they got JT and Jaylen Brown. Even though they aren't like shooters, they can shoot the 3. The Lakers, I'm not gonna lie, who's their best shooter? Fucking Matt Ryan. Even though
LeBron maybe, but
LeBron,
like even then, but even then, like if you even look at his stats, like LeBron doesn't take that many threes.
Exactly, and I understand that he's been shooting a little bit more in the past couple of seasons. He's at best an average 3-point shooter. He's not the best. He can hit a shot from 40 feet out. He does that like every game now. But at the end of the day, what the Lakers did this past offseason was terrible. They didn't really pick up anybody. They didn't get anything to improve the squad. It was this. Oh, excuse me, I just burped. Rob Pelinka did not pick up anyone to improve the squad. And it's funny because over this past offseason, Rob Pelinka got a new contract extension, which is so dumb considering that he was the one who kind of blew up the 2020 Lakers after they won the finals. One of the reasons why they won in 2020 was because of the shooters and the role players that they had. As I mentioned before, KCP, Danny Green, Kyle Kuzma. Then you had like Rajon Rondo, Dwight Howard. I think JaVale McGee as well was on that squad. And while those players aren't the greatest players, like they're at best average players. They played very well. They played very well in the playoffs, and they fit LeBron's system, and that is open jump shooting, right, and getting to the rim. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers nowadays for this squad, they don't have that 3-point shooting that they had back in the day, and they didn't have the greatest shooters. They weren't even a shooting team in 2020, but at least they had some players who can hit an open shot, which was important. Nowadays, the Lakers, they don't have. Well, they do. They have a couple guys, but it isn't really on the same consistency that they had 2 years ago, right? Their best shooters is what? Austin Reeves. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna put my trust into something like that, and I don't know how consistent a guy like that is. Matt Ryan, not the quarterback in the NFL, but there's another guy named Matt Ryan. We don't know how consistent he is. Can he? You know, he hasn't been in the league that long either. And I know he hit that game-tying 3 last night against the Pelicans, which was great. You know, that was clutch. But unlike those players that the Lakers have now, back then with the shooters and role players they had in 2020 that helped them win the finals, those were veterans. They played for they've been in the league for at least 5 to 6 years. They had Danny Green, someone who has won a championship. They had Rondo, who has won a championship as well against Kobe. You know what I'm saying? So like they had Dwight Howard as well. You know what I'm saying? They had veterans who knew how to play the game and knew how to like win or at least go far in the playoffs.
Yeah, honestly, Lakers,
I think. Oh, go ahead. I have not let you talk. My bad.
No, but honestly, I think that most of like the finals contenders, especially like in the NBA, they like their roster is constructed in the way that there's like the 2 to maybe like not even the 2 like the 3 superstars, maybe like even 1 superstar.
Exactly.
Like 1 to 2 superstars, you know, who like they average like 30 points a game, you know, like they can shoot well, you know, they're athletic as hell. And like they can rebound and also play decent defense. And then, you know, like to the bottom of that, you know, you got your young, like aspiring, like talent, you know, like maybe like 1 to 2 year like players who have a lot to prove, you know. But they only average like maybe like from at that point in their career, they only average maybe like 15 points a game. Yeah. And so, like, they want to, and that's like the thing is like, oh, they want to prove a lot of people wrong this season. And like from the step down from that, you have like your veterans and stuff like that, like people who have been in the game for a long time, you know, and who can coach these like younger players into becoming better players. I think that's how most of them are kind of constructed. Because you know, think of like the Warriors. You know,
think the Bucks and the Warriors. When the Bucks won in 2021. The best player they had was Giannis. Of course, Giannis is Giannis, one of the best players in the league. But they have players that can play alongside Giannis that worked in that system. You had Jrue Holiday, he can play defense. Chris Middleton's a sniper. You have players like Brook Lopez and I forget the tall black guy. I forget his name. No, that's crazy.
That's a lot of PJ Tucker.
My bad. They had PJ Tucker, Bobby Portis. That's what I meant to say. Why did I say tall black guy? There's a lot of tall black guys in the NBA.
There's a lot of them.
My bad. Yeah, sorry. BLM in the chat. They had Bobby Portis. They had PJ Tucker. They had guys who knew how to win. They had shooters. They had people that fit in that system. Same thing, like you said, the Warriors as well. It isn't just Curry. It isn't just Clay. It's also Draymond's garbage ass. No, I'm just playing. Draymond's a great player. Jordan Poole, he stepped up in the playoffs and finals last year. Even like Kevon Looney, he isn't like the greatest player, but he gets you rebounds. I remember like
game 3
or game 4 of the finals last year when they played the Celtics. Bro got like 20 boards. It's like damn.
I'm saying it right now. If he doesn't get that many boards, I don't think the Warriors win that game. Like, let alone the series itself.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. And I would say the Warriors are only getting scarier, even though they've started the season pretty bad. They're 3-5? They've lost like the last 4 games. But I definitely do think they'll get it together and go on a hot streak, considering that not only they
always do it.
Yeah, they always do it. And Steve Kerr's a great coach, and they all have great experience together. Not only they have Curry and Clay that are healthy right now, they have a lot of young guys on the bench. Jonathan Kuminga, I forget the other guy that they have, James Wiseman. He's
Oh
developing
yeah,
very well.
yeah,
I feel like those guys will get a lot more minutes
yeah.
as the season progresses,
Hmm.
and I think they will play a crucial role once the playoffs come around. As much as I don't like the Warriors
Yeah, I
front
hate
office
Wiseman.
is
Yeah.
very smart. They know how to draft guys. They know how to
Mhm.
develop players. You know, the reason why Jordan Poole's like nasty right now is because he took his time in the G League. You know, the
He's
Warriors.
learning from the best too.
Exactly. So it's like they have a squad. They have potential. They have a lot
Yeah.
of young guys on top of having championship caliber players with the greatest shooter of all time. You know?
Like and it's a very important thing too, because you know how kind of like recently, the Warriors have had very questionable draft picks. Especially with like James Wiseman and stuff like that, and like Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to do the philosophy of these players can develop, and then once they do, they'll become perennial like superstars, basically.
Exactly.
Because
'Cause-
everyone's trying to follow the Giannis mindset. Because remember, like he was a mid round pick, and
yeah.
he like it took him like a while for him to develop, and then all of a sudden he's like this just amazing player.
Yep. I see what you
I
mean.
think that's what they're trying to do. And like sure it could work, but also you have to really, really dream on the development process. If your development process like does not work out, then like you end up with a bust.
Yeah, like look at Clay for example. Clay and Steph,
Right.
they really didn't hit their stride until 2015, 2016. You know,
Hmm.
Steph really wasn't making the craziest waves until those years. Of course,
Hmm.
people knew who he was before that, but he
Hmm.
didn't reach that superstar status until 2015,
Yeah. It's
2016.
funny because like
The fir-
before
when he
before
first
like the
started,
2015 like uh we keep interrupting each other like it's so
it's fine, bro. It's fine.
yeah. But back in like right before 2015, like everyone was doubting him, saying like, "Oh, he's all he can do is shoot threes." Like, and he's always injured the whole time. And all of a sudden, like he has this monster MVP season, and everyone just like starts sucking his dick. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's recency, it's bias, really.
Recency
Like,
bias, yeah. I mean, that's
yeah,
what
it's
a lot.
recency
That's how a
bias.
lot of fans are. Let's talk about the Nets, man. Brooklyn Nets. Similar to the Lakers, they have not started out good this season. Only as of yesterday, they have fired their coach Steve Nash, who, thank God, he kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't know, he was not a good coach.
They're
And
just like a okay. All right, here's you want my take on the Nets right
yeah,
now?
talk about it, bro.
Okay, so well, first off, Kevin Durant, like is a very questionable person. Like he's a very questionable, like coachable personality.
Yeah,
Because I feel like the whole thing in Golden State was just like Steve Kerr was just like do what you want to do. We already have superstars here, so just like if you're given the ball, do whatever you want with it. I think
yeah.
that was the
Okay,
mindset they were having with him.
Okay, here's the thing though, like I have to like say this right now. I feel like people just have to stop expecting like like one superstar or two superstar players to do everything for their team. Like this is
Right.
not 2017, 2018 anymore. Like LeBron isn't gonna solo squad the league anymore. You know, KD's
It's
not
also
gonna
like yeah.
solo squad the East. He can't do that, bro. Like you need players around you to deliver. It can't just be your one to two superstars that you have on your team. You need everyone else to step up.
Yeah, and I think like a big thing is now is that like just because you have like this is theoretical like obviously just because you have five superstars on your team that does not guarantee you're gonna like like win a championship. That's not how it works. Think of like what's an
2019
example?
Warriors.
The Warriors, the Bulls. That's a good one. Like
That is
the
true.
Michael Jordan Bulls. Like they had people like Dennis Rodman, like Scottie Pippen. Sometimes like they didn't always win it.
I mean, they
You
went
know,
6 for 6, bro. That's a little bit
That's
different.
true. That's true, yeah.
yeah. But I think 2019 is a perfect example. But I think
Yeah,
that's because it's because of
example.
injuries, bro. I think it's because of injuries.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah. But yeah, speaking of the Nets, bro, like, yeah, KD and Kyrie are elites, historic shot creators, right? They're very good on the ball, very good ISO players. But I watched one of the Nets games. I don't know which one it was, but they play very like ISO ball heavy. Like they just they literally give the ball to Kyrie or KD and just get out the way. And while KD and Kyrie are very good in one-on-one ISO ball situations,
Right.
you can't just do that all game. No one else on the squad can really shot create that well, and you just gotta
Right.
move the ball. And I feel like some guys on the squad, Ben Simmons, do not move off ball. I don't know why. Like, bro, I'm gonna be real. Ben Simmons is a pussy, bro. Like the
Oh,
guy,
yeah, for
like
sure.
he is scared to shoot. Like it's not like I know he's a meme. Like, oh, he doesn't shoot threes. He can't shoot threes.
No, he
Like,
just does not shoot.
yeah, he just doesn't shoot. It's like that's the one thing between like Westbrook and Simmons that I've noticed. Because at least with Russell Westbrook, even though he's not the greatest shooter, at least he tries. Like he
Right.
tries and forces his way
He just tries to,
to do
like
it,
shoot.
right? Simmons is a fucking pussy. The guy doesn't go to the rim. He doesn't. The only thing he can do offensively is go to the rim. He doesn't have a pull up jumper. He can't shoot like jump shots in general because he's
Right.
just scared to. Because I'm just convinced that, like, I'm gonna be real here. If Ben Simmons just decided to start shooting, like, just let me just start throwing up threes. I'm telling you right now, like his points per game, like his overall production on the offensive side will go up, even if he's missing a lot. Like that's what's hurting the Nets offense. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I watched one of the games. I don't know which one it was, but every time Ben got to the rim, he'd always try to dump it off to whoever's cutting into the lane. Like he would
Oh
always
yeah,
do
for
that.
sure.
Or like once he gets the ball on the perimeter, he wouldn't look to attack the basket. He would look for KD and Kyrie, set a pick for them, and just get out the way. He wouldn't cut
Yeah.
to the basket. He doesn't post up. He just stands there, and when he can't do that, he's just stuck. And it's so frustrating to watch because I know you're a Sixers fan. You've watched
Yeah.
Ben Simmons play for years.
Yeah.
Even he still has those same tendencies when he was on the Sixers, and now it's even worse considering that his offensive production is at a career low.
It's dropped.
It's at a career low. He's playing the worst basketball he's ever had,
Like,
and yeah, bro.
and like the worst part is too is like if Ben were, it's like, hey, we also seen the videos of him like actually developing his jump shot. But
All those
if he
videos
would
over the
actually-
summer and shit. Oh, that's
Oh,
cap, bro.
dude.
Like
Yeah,
like
if-
I see him shooting, but he's just not confident enough to shoot in game. It's weird.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. And the worst part is too, if you were to actually, like utilize this in games, he like, dare I say, it, he could probably play like prime Russell Westbrook.
In terms of what? Elaborate on that.
In terms of like his like stats, because like remember Westbrook's MVP season, like he almost averaged a triple double, or he did. Because
I think that's because the offense ran through Westbrook. Like the offense is
Well,
not
yeah.
gonna run through Simmons because he's not the number one guy. He's not the number
Yeah,
two guy either.
okay, yeah, I get it, but like also because keep in mind too, Simmons, when he was like on like the Sixers, he was passing a lot, rebounding a lot, so like trying to create a lot of shots for a lot of the guys that were on the team.
Thing is, like
So-
there was guys on the team who can get open. They moved off ball, and the Sixers, the way they played wasn't ISO heavy. It was about ball
Right.
movement. The Sixers' best season. I don't know which year it was, but they had JJ Redick, they had Seth Curry, they had guys who can get
Yeah.
open and hit a three. The Nets, they don't play that way. Of course, there are
Yeah.
guys who can hit a three. I mean, they have Seth Curry now, right? But
Yeah,
their best shooter Joe Harris is injured right now, I think. And the way they play is just like I said, very ISO heavy. So it just does not fit Ben's
Big
play style.
reason- Yeah, like I think a big reason, like as to why, is because I think they're literally like just like Sixers fans right now. They're trying to develop his jumper, but it's not working.
No, it's not the fact that they're trying to develop. He's scared to shoot. That's the problem.
Yeah,
The only way to develop your jump shot is to shoot in game.
it's to shoot. Yeah,
Yeah, shoot in game. No one's like you can't just automatically become a better shooter by not shooting. That's like
Right.
That's like not studying for a test and expecting to get an A. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just like,
Yeah.
what are you doing, bro? Like unless you're already a straight A student, you should be studying for an upcoming test. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
how I feel about Ben Simmons and his jump shot. People expect him to have a I don't know, man. Like people expect him to people expect him to have the ability to shoot, but it's just like, bro, he just does not shoot, and that's the problem.
like, it's-
he just does
he's,
not
like,
have the.
scared.
It's a confidence issue in my opinion. He's just scared. That's what it is, and it's sad to see because he was the number one pick. He's supposed to be this like next LeBron James.
the
this
target's
mini
like on his back. That's the problem.
Yeah, so and it's like it's been a couple years out since he had that hype removed from him, and now it's like you have the two great players around you. You have a squad. Shoot the damn ball, bro. Get aggressive. Get to the rim. Stop being a fucking pussy. I'm
Yeah.
sorry if I'm cursing, but that's just the truth. Like
Nah.
it's just like seeing Ben Simmons play is very frustrating, and it's like you're in the
It's very
NBA for a reason. And I'm gonna be real here. I think the reason why he just can't adjust is because he just expects the game to just come to him, even if he refuses
Yeah.
to shoot. Because a lot of these bigger guys, when they grow up playing basketball in middle school, high school, and college, they can use their size to their advantage because they're so
Right.
tall. How tall is Ben Simmons? Like 6'10", right?
He's like 6'10", yeah.
So, growing up, he's always the biggest guy. So he didn't have to worry about shooting. He can just drive to the
Right.
rim and bully anyone out of his way.
Yeah, but like
Well,
when
now
you go to
now you're in the
NBA
league. There's guys that are as big as you that are going to be stronger and faster than you. You can't just drive to the rim on Giannis. That's just not gonna work.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you're just gonna
impossible.
you're gonna get pinned down. It's just not gonna work.
Right.
So, like Ben just has to change his game. He has to force it to himself. You gotta be like Westbrook at least. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
When it comes to Westbrook, like I know he hasn't been playing the best, but at least he's forcing it. Like he's
Yeah.
trying.
he's
Like,
at least like trying to like regain his form, even though it's like not the best, but like he's at least like taking the shots.
yeah, and Ben's just
Yeah.
Ben's just
But
playing scary. Hey man,
on top of
where do you
the Nets though, like wait, were you gonna say
I do want
something?
to ask you though, where do you think the Lakers and Nets will finish in terms of placing, but in terms
I
of
feel like
seeding, by the end of the season, after 82
I,
games,
I feel like honestly both teams like will like just barely make the play in. Like that's
the
my
play-in.
prediction. Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna be real here. At least for the Lakers, I don't even know if they can make the play. The West this year, I mean, we're only less than 10 games in. The West this year is stacked. They're very stacked.
Still very stacked, yeah. Even though like a lot
Even
of
even the bum
best
teams, even though the teams that are projected to not make the playoffs have started out pretty strongly.
They've been playing decent, yeah.
The Utah Jazz is playing great. The San
Yeah.
Antonio Spurs, I forget who else in the West that really isn't predicted to play well this season. They've been playing well. I gotta pull up the standings, but I'm not gonna lie.
Portland, I'm
Like,
pretty sure.
yeah, Portland. They started the season 5-2, which is very
Yeah.
surprising considering that Dame doesn't really have much around him,
He's got no help,
excluding
like-
like Anthony Simons is like their best player, outside of
like-
Dame.
Yeah, outside of him.
So like the West, there's a lot of competition, and I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. If the Lakers, knock on wood, that AD doesn't get injured, right?
He probably will.
Because if he does get injured,
It's gonna happen.
nah, that's crazy, bro. Because if AD and LeBron, like I'm gonna be real here, for them to make the playoffs, like actually make the playoffs, AD and LeBron have to stay healthy. Like they have to stay
yeah.
they have to stay healthy for at least 80% of the season. Because I'm gonna be real here, I think they're gonna get injured at some point in the season, which is
Yeah.
sad for me to say. I feel bad for me for just saying that, but LeBron's
Yeah.
getting up there in age, man. Like he's starting to move a little bit
Yeah.
slower. I think LeBron's starting to decline, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I saw
And
I
it's
saw the
very
game.
sad.
I saw the game against the Pelicans. He was moving a little bit slow. I'm not saying LeBron's bad. I'm not saying he's washed or anything, but compared to even like his 2020 season, even last year, he's moving a little bit slower. I mean, the guy's what 38 years old, 39 years old. The guy's getting up there. He's pushing 40, bro. That's crazy. So, LeBron's gonna start to decline over the years. AD, he's a fucking glass cannon, right? So I think AD, in my opinion, for the Lakers to win games, they're gonna need AD. They're gonna need him. So
And another thing too, like with AD, is that like he's almost like he's literally like on the doorstep of 30. Like it gets to a
There's
point,
nothing wrong
especially
with
with like
that,
the
bro.
bigger guys. What?
there's nothing wrong with 30. Are you? Oh, I know what you're saying. For big men as they
He's like
age,
29 right now.
yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel you.
He's like on like the doorstep of it, and it gets to a point, where like especially big guys like him, like it gets to a point where their bodies just kind of like give up on them. Like, and I wouldn't be surprised if he retires within maybe like the next 2-3 years.
Oh, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. No. That's insane.
I can see it happening, and like I wouldn't be surprised.
Nah, bro.
But,
I give it like 5 to 6 years. Nah, retire next 2 years would be crazy. That's a crazy take, but I'll give it to you. At least in terms of placing, I agree. The Lakers, I think they'll barely make the play-in, and at least for the Nets, I think they'll make the playoffs, but I think they'll be a low seed, 6 or 7 seed.
But like on the topic of the Nets, like I do want to bring something up with because Kyrie has in the past already been like seen as very hard to coach,
Yeah.
especially with like every team has been, especially like, and I think it was definitely really highlighted very well in his time with the Celtics, like his 2-year tenure,
Yeah.
because he gets injured the first year, like next year he comes back, and the Celtics that year are having like all sorts of problems.
Well, I wouldn't
like,
say
they-
that's his fault all the way. I know he did say, like, he does stream on Twitch, and he said that during his time with Boston, he had like a lot of problems off the court. Like he had to deal with like his grandparents dying or something, like a
Oh
family
yeah.
death or something. So like mentally, he wasn't there when he was playing in Boston.
Mhm.
He also said that playing in front of the Boston crowd, people were racist. People were saying some crazy shit to him. So
I
like
mean, yeah, it's Boston.
that was affecting his play. Like there was things like outside of it that
Hmm.
were affecting him, right? And when he went to
But
the
like,
Nets his first season, he started playing a lot better. But go on. I just wanted to
but like,
clarify that because
yeah.
he's brought that up to his defense.
No,
But
but like,
go
not
ahead.
even then though. Like even with the Cavs, when he was like in Cleveland, he was like people were still calling him uncoachable.
Mm,
So like
okay.
and then it was very highlighted very well, especially in his second year at Boston. He was like, like being an asshole to reporters. Like when they were asking like, "What do you plan to do in free agency?" Like he said, like, "Oh, ask me July 1st." I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
dude. Like
Yeah.
you could just say like, "I don't want to don't want to speak about it." Like and also pointing the finger at like other people, especially during the season because they were losing like to like really bad teams. They lost to Magic a couple times that like year,
Yeah. I
and
feel what
so
you're saying. Yeah.
yeah, and I think like is that's probably it. That probably is what drove him out of Boston. That definitely is because he did some of Brooklyn, but it was very very symbolic in a sense, I guess.
Yeah. I know what you're
And,
saying.
also it doesn't exactly help that like the recent stuff that he's been saying.
We'll talk about that later, man. Well, I have a lot to say because there's some more news about Kyrie. I'll
Yeah,
bring that
no,
up
I
later.
just saw like a report that just
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out.
Well, I'll bring that up. I'll bring that up later. But speaking of sports, let's talk about NFL. The NFL
Yeah,
season, we're what 8 to 9 weeks into the
we're
season,
about like halfway through.
halfway through the season. Just
Yeah,
to clarify, I'm a Giants fan. Cheese, you're an Eagles fan. Fuck the
nope,
Eagles.
nope, and fuck the
They're 0 and
Giants. So
7. You know what I'm
really neutral.
saying? Yeah. The NFC East this year are great. They're doing great. Everybody in the NFC East is
And it's
at
okay.
least at least at 500 or over 500. But I do want to say that all of our schedules, the Giants, the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Commanders, all of our schedules are actually really easy. We're playing a lot of really easy teams. I've noticed. But
I
that
wouldn't
doesn't
say
that
that.
but I do want to say like all of our schedules, we have some of the easiest schedules in the league, like by
Yeah.
far. But I do want to say that that doesn't take away all our records, right? We're all of the teams are playing great, regardless of who we're playing. Even though some of the teams that we're playing are somewhat easy, and
Mhm,
have bad records. The Eagles are legit. I'm gonna be real here. Like
mhm.
I see you guys play, and Jalen Hurts is him. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
he's
real.
him. Yeah.
He's
No,
him.
no. Have you seen the
Like
wide receivers though? Like
the
they're all
AJ
him.
Brown. Yeah, AJ Brown's
They're all
nasty, bro.
they're all them.
Yo, yeah, they're all
Devontae
them.
Smith.
They're all them. Oh my
Like
god, you guys have weapons on offense.
yeah, and,
It's
like it's
disgusting.
like looking at like Eagles games now compared to like last season, where like Hurts sure had Devontae Smith, but like looking at him now, especially with like AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, it's like he's throwing way more, and I love that.
Because he has weapons,
It's because
unlike the
of the fact that he
Giants.
has weapons. No, and like sure, Devontae Smith at the like was a weapon, but like he was a rookie,
Yeah, yeah, I
and
feel you.
sometimes rookie wide receivers
They
can
develop later. You know what I'm
they
saying?
can they've developed
Yeah,
very
yeah.
later. Like
So
usually their primes are like 26, 28.
that's true. So, and speaking of weapons, the Giants don't have any.
Unfortunately,
Offensively,
yeah.
for
Yeah.
my
Offense.
Giants, we've started the season out pretty good. 6-2 is a really good start to at least to halfway of the season. We've beaten some good teams, like the Ravens, like the Packers, which a lot of people counted us out in. So
I,
we've
I'm
started out good. I'm still salty over the Seattle loss
I'm
because
I'm talking that Ravens loss up to just them choking.
no, our
Just because
defense
not
stepped
because
up.
you
I'm
guys
not gonna
played
lie.
well.
No, our defense stepped up. I'm not gonna lie. We shut down Lamar in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still salty over the Seahawks loss. Our offense was just not good. That was just a game of like our defense played well, but just could not keep up simply because they were on the field more than our offense, and our offense just does not have any weapons. It's sad when our best wide receiver slash tight end is what Eric Bellinger. Like, who is that guy? I mean,
Yeah.
respectfully, he's been playing great this season pre-injury. He did get injured against Jacksonville like 2 weeks ago. He got poked in the eye, had to get eye surgery. He's good now. He's gonna recover in a couple weeks, so hopefully we get him back. But the trade deadline did pass. I'm not sure if we got a wide receiver or not.
You did
We
not.
did not. Yeah,
You did not.
I'm really
You
mad.
definitely did not.
I'm mad.
Like
We
all the wide receivers that were like supposed to be like one of like the bigger like names in like the trade deadline, like Chase Claypool and like Calvin Ridley.
I'm just
They all got
salty.
traded.
Yeah, I'm salty we did not get any of those guys because the Giants desperately need a wide receiver.
Like
Because our wide receiver core are just practice guys, and
you,
respectfully, like I'm not trying to downplay these guys because they're in the league for the reason, and I just want to say they work hard. The Giants as a
right.
team, a lot of the players aren't really superstar names, especially on offense, excluding Saquon. Saquon is amazing, but
Yeah.
a lot of our players on offense, they work hard, regardless of
Mhm.
their role or whatever. So, shout out Brian Dable, our rookie head coach. I would say he's been one of the best coaches, at least this year.
Yeah. Mhm.
Early contender for coach of the year, what he's done for the squad.
Along with the Eagles head coach
What's his name?
Nick Sirianni.
Okay. Is he a rookie coach? I have not been keeping with
No, he's not a rookie coach. No, last year was his rookie year, but considering like the jump he's made, like especially from going 9-8, or like at one point he was 1-7 like in the year, and all of a sudden and then transitioning to this year, we're 7-0 as of right now. As of we're recording this, they're playing right now.
Wait, they're playing right now?
Yeah, they're playing right now. It's Thursday Night Football.
Oh, who are they playing?
They're playing the Texans, and it's tied right now. So
Wait, the Texans are ass. No, you guys are going
It's
8-0. Fuck. Yeah, the Texans are garbage. We're playing the Texans after our bye week. We have a bye week this week, so after
Yeah.
next week. Yeah.
but like
The NFC East,
it's-
the Cowboys, they're playing solid as well.
I think a big reason as to why the Giants are obviously because like Saquon's playing well in like the defense, but head coaching can make a difference.
It's
But
coaching. Yeah.
again, the only biggest problem is though is that when when Saquon's not on, Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones. Like, what do you do on offense? Like, hey, sure you get the stop on defense, but like you just go 3 and out on offense. It's the same thing.
Daniel Jones is a solid quarterback. He's nothing crazy, but I think a lot of people downplay him, and I just feel like
He's a very average quarterback in my opinion.
I see what you mean, but I just feel like a lot of people downplay him considering that he never really had at least when it comes to wide receivers and tight ends, he never really had the best weapons to utilize. Of course, he has Saquon, but Saquon isn't, at least in the pass game, Saquon, at least half of the time, is going to be out running to catch a ball. He's going to be helping blocking as well. So it's like, if, in my opinion, if Daniel Jones can get someone like Odell back, because Odell, there's been, speculations of Odell coming back to the Giants. He wants to sign with the team, or get like, if we draft another rookie, and he's a stud. I feel like if Daniel Jones can get a good wide receiver, like an actual stud, he can shine as well. Like, for example, when Eli, before he retired, had Odell, Eli played great, man, because he had a weapon like Odell who is a bomb, right? You throw it to him and he just goes crazy. You know what I'm saying?
He would just catch it, yeah.
Yeah, so like that's the one thing the Giants are not good at. We don't have the best. We have a pretty bad wideout core with our wide receivers and tight ends, but as long as our players play well and work hard, that's what matters most at the end of the day. I'd rather have players that work like that than a superstar name. But we need we need some good wide receivers in order for the offense to be better. But we've talked about the better teams in the league, like the Giants, the Eagles, right? We've seen the Chiefs are starting to warm up. The Vikings, we have some good teams out there as well. Let's talk about the teams that aren't playing well. So what are some teams that
the Broncos?
My boy Russell Wilson.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Yo, he always. No, I
I want to address that real quickly. Like,
hey, talk about it, man. Talk your shit.
Everyone even Seahawks fans knew that Russell Wilson had a very corny personality. But the only reason why they didn't care about it was because of the fact that he was playing football really well for them.
Yeah.
He'd be showing his arm off. They won a Super Bowl at one point with him.
Yeah.
And so he's been playing well for them, and I think that's the reason why they didn't care about his cringe, corny personality. But now that the fact that he's playing bad makes it even worse.
Yeah, that's true.
And, especially, have you seen his Subway commercial?
Yeah, and did you hear that he does he works out in the plane, when they're going to games? God. That's so crazy, bro. What?
No, you're not helping your case out, dude. Yeah, and keep this in mind too. Broncos fans gotta deal with him for the next 6 years.
Because of his contract, right?
Yeah, because his contract is so much. They gave him almost $300 million.
Wait, what the fuck? Really?
Yeah, it's I think it's a 250 in around that range.
God damn, I didn't know NFL players got paid like that.
Yeah, I mean, because there's not really a salary cap. especially when if
really?
you're paying for well, because with court, I think the reason why contracts like that are getting so inflated is because of Mahomes' contract. You remember he got like $500 million.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, like I think that's the big reason why.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I would say though with Russell Wilson, I respect the positivity at least. He doesn't try to be negative. He doesn't, bash out to the
Mhm.
media. So I respect it. But at some point you gotta get like, yeah,
It's just
he's gonna break
it's just
down.
like damn
So
corny.
yeah, it's corny, but it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before he gets benched or some shit, bro. Because Broncos
Um,
fans don't like him. I was watching one game. It was a Monday night game a couple weeks ago. He was getting booed.
well, okay, sure, okay, we can blame like Russ as like much as we want, but I feel like it's some point like
It's not all of his fault. It's just not
it's got
him
to be the head coach too.
as well. Yeah,
Nathaniel Hackett, some of his play calling just does not make sense.
yeah.
Like instead of going for it, especially during that one of the first games of the season, like the Seahawks Broncos game,
Yeah,
like him not deciding to go for it and trying to kick a field goal, which he ended up missing. That makes no sense. Like what you're at? What it was? There was like less than a minute left. There's no point in like you still have a chance. You're like halfway across the field. Like there's no reason for you not to go for it.
exactly.
And if you get it, spike it, and then you get like an extra play.
True.
Like it just does not make a lot of sense.
Yeah, questionable
Yeah.
play calling. Yeah. Is that good for the NFL?
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to
Uh,
say about it? About the season so
Some other
far?
teams that we should point out too definitely are the Raiders.
Okay.
They've been like god awful, especially because like everyone thought they were gonna be a threat because of Devontae Adams.
I feel bad for him, bro.
I feel bad.
He
I
signed a
know for a
big
fact
contract. He did it for the money, man. He sold his soul.
he did it. He definitely did it for the money, and it was also probably because of the fact that he wanted to play with Derek Carr, even though Aaron Rodgers is obviously way better.
Yeah.
Like I think it's probably the fact that like I could always like chalk this up to first year, but like it's AJ Brown's first year, and like the dude's popping off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
It just sucks,
I,
man.
honestly,
Because like
honestly,
he's
it's
stuck there,
it's
bro.
pretty just,
Well, what's the record? Like what? 2 and
they're like barely they're not even 500. They're like the laughing stock of the AFC right now.
Oh,
And that's
okay.
saying some stuff. Like the Jets are actually pretty good for some
Yeah, the
reason.
Jets are balling, bro. And I would say, yo, shout out the Bills too. The Bills are nice. I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna lie.
well, we already kind of knew the Bills were nice though. Like
Josh
we've
Allen.
known that like,
Yeah, I'm not
for a
gonna lie.
while.
If I were to make like an NFL to NBA comparison, Josh Allen is the Luka of the NFL, bro. Like he's
Yeah,
just so exciting to watch. Yeah, I'm not
he'll
gonna lie.
let you. Dude. Like his arm is like amazing.
Yeah, that motherfucker can throw. They can
Yeah.
throw. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
Like my prediction, I'm gonna make a prediction right now. My Super Bowl
Right.
prediction is going to be at least teams who are gonna be playing each other is Bills Eagles.
I, that is a very common one I see.
Yeah, I think Bills Eagles. Of course, if that were to happen, I'm voting for the Bills. Fuck Philly.
Honestly, okay, dude. Like, okay, I'm just saying it right now. Okay, like trying to like bias aside. Like like Eagles definitely have a very good shot at it. I'd personally
But
say maybe.
the Niners are looking good. They got Christian McCaffrey this past week, and did you see
Yeah,
what he
well,
did?
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he threw a touchdown, ran a touchdown, and received a touchdown.
All right, I'm
That's
gonna be totally honest with you. Okay. Okay, I don't know if this is a hot take or not. Okay, they're all 49ers fans. Okay, I don't get the hype with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh yeah, he's
I do
alright.
not get the
He's
hype.
alright, bro.
I do not get the hype.
Doesn't he want out of San Fran?
I don't
Did he
think he
ask for a
explicitly
trade?
said that. Well, no, like I think it was the fact that that he would have wanted out had Trey Lance been healthy
Mm. I mean,
because
here's the
Trey
thing
Lance
though,
got
San
hurt,
Fran,
so-
San Fran got some weapons, and they have a really good defense. You got Debo Samuels and Christian McCaffrey on one team.
Yeah.
That's
But the only problem is that how well can your quarterback play?
yeah. I mean, he is proven. He's gone to the Super Bowl before, so it's not like he's
Yeah.
some bum. Like
I mean,
with the weapons
yes,
that
he
like
did
he has,
the Super
like
Bowl,
he has
like-
another weapon to his name and someone that's nasty as fuck. So it's not like he's gonna struggle to like get the ball, but it's like can he deliver again? And like
I
he's
just
done it
feel the
before.
biggest thing
So
though with his Super Bowl run was that first off his defense did do like a big like portion of the workload for him.
yeah, that's true.
But not only that too, like if you also saw like a lot of like 2019 49ers, like a lot of their play relied on people on Deebo Samuel and like George Kittle to make these like short passes,
Yeah.
and because like you can look at Jimmy Garoppolo like deep throws, they're like he misses them quite often.
Yeah, that's true. I feel that.
And so any other like teams that like I feel like any other teams that like are might be on like they're like in the hot seat right now. They're like
I don't really have any names because outside of the Giants, bro, I don't keep up
maybe
with
honestly
the
maybe the
NFL.
Patriots.
What's up with the Patriots, man? How's Bill Belichick doing, man? What do you know
Okay,
what's
well
up with them?
I think it's mainly the fact that Mac Jones is hurt.
Yeah,
But it's also the fact that how like Mac Jones was literally just like he was a system QB. He was like Tom Brady, right?
yeah,
And like he didn't move very well. He would just he had a pretty good arm, and he could throw. But like when he played now, he like barely even moved. And at least like Tom Brady tries to move like slightly, like a little bit.
yeah,
He just does not move.
yeah. I feel that. Anything else for the NFL?
Um,
That it, right?
yeah, I'd say that's probably like a good
Okay,
portion of it.
so
Yeah,
you did mention Kyrie Irving. I want to go
the
back to
Kyrie.
that point. So, Kyrie Irving has been recently suspended for 5 games without pay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to share my screen. Let me do that. Yeah, let me. Shit. Oh, I gotta cut that out. It has my name. Oops. Let's see.
Ha.
What?
Have
Oh, wait.
a,
Shut the fuck up.
can have a name or face reveal just yet.
Hold on. Let me. Yeah. Let me find the tweet real quick. Woj tweeted this. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Can I? Yeah. So. Wait. Let me see if they can. Well, I can just bring it up like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving has been suspended by the Brooklyn Nets. They've been suspended for 5 games. Tell me, how do you feel about that, bro?
I mean, honestly, like he definitely had it coming, especially like with the stuff that he was saying.
Okay,
Like,
so here's my opinion on it. He's been suspended 5 games without pay. So let's clarify what exactly has he done. So the first thing he's done with, I'm gonna stop screaming because you already know. So essentially he's getting suspended for the quote unquote promotion of a movie. It's a movie that I haven't watched. I don't know if you watched the
I have not
movie.
watched it. I definitely have not
Apparently
watched
in
it.
this movie, I don't know the name. There is some like anti-Semitic values in there that go against that basically go against the religion of Judaism, right? They have
Right.
a lot of values that are anti-Jewish, right? And essentially, what Kyrie did with this movie, on his Instagram, on his story, he posted a picture of this movie on like the Amazon page where you can rent it, where you can buy the movie, things of that nature. And he just posted a screenshot of the movie on the Amazon page. He didn't say anything. He didn't say go watch it, don't watch it. He didn't say anything. He just posted it on his Twitter.
I think like
He
yeah.
tweeted out a link to this movie to the same page. He didn't clarify what to do with that link. He didn't say watch it, and the media is essentially saying that he is promoting it. What is your take on it, bro? Because I have a lot
Okay.
to say about it. How do you feel about Kyrie posting this movie to
So like
his Instagram and Twitter?
yeah. So like I definitely like dug like deeper into this, kind of like see what apparently like a lot of people have said though, like or because like what he meant was that the movie like was basically portraying that most like Jewish people were actually black and not white, but like most like people think. So like I think that's what he's trying to portray, but like then again, it still felt very anti-Semitic in a way.
Okay,
So
yeah, keep going.
no, but like yeah, so it kind of still was anti-Semitic in a way, but like I feel like a lot of it was a little bit taken out of context, but it's kind of like teeter-tottering. It is technically anti-Semitic, but like I think a lot of people did over-exaggerate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real here. In my personal opinion, me personally, I feel like a lot of people are reaching here. I understand why people are like they're mad at Kyrie. They want to cancel him. Oh, fuck Kyrie Irving. But at the end of the day, he did clarify in a press conference. I don't know if it was today or earlier or the past couple of days that he just wanted people to see the as you mentioned, see the past of black Jews, the history of it. That's all he wanted to say.
But
And I
the
feel
only
like in my opinion, he should have clarified
Yeah,
what the reason of why he was showing
of why
this
he posted
movie,
that, yeah.
right? But in my personal opinion, I feel like a lot of people are reaching. I understand why people are mad, but I feel like there's some give or take on both sides. For Kyrie,
Right.
he should have talked about why he showed that movie on Amazon through his Instagram and Twitter.
Right.
On the other side, I feel like people are just getting mad and jumping to conclusions. So, for example, people are
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, you support Alex Jones now," from what Kyrie said, because I think Alex Jones like he mentioned this movie or something like that. I'm not sure what happened, but for some reason, and like for some reason people are saying, oh, Kyrie supports Alex Jones, and you know how Alex Jones said that Sandy Hook was fake or something, like he had
Yeah.
that big lawsuit, and now people are saying like, oh, Kyrie also doesn't believe that Sandy Hook was real, and like Kyrie had to what's it called, he had to clarify that in a press conference. I don't know if you've seen that video of uh I don't know if you've seen that video of Kyrie talking to that reporter where he's like denying those allegations, and the
Mhm.
reporter's like constantly pressing him like, "Oh, you're promoting that movie," and Kyrie's like, "No, I wasn't promoting that movie. I didn't say anything." And the reporter
Yeah.
kept pressing him over and over again. I just feel like, in my opinion, I know it's gonna trigger some people, but I feel like this is overblown. Um,
Well, I think it's the, okay.
I think Kyrie should have addressed it why he decided to do something like that. But
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's just like
I can see that.
he just dropped a screenshot and a link. That doesn't mean, oh, he didn't say watch this movie directly. He could have,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, he should have, in my opinion, he should have clarified why he did it. But at the end of the day, people are jumping to conclusions way too fast. So, for example, like let me bring up an example. If Andrew Tate said 3 times 3 is 9, I'm going to agree with it. But
Yes.
just because I agreed that he said something that's factual, that doesn't mean I'm full red pill and I hate women, just like how Andrew Tate does. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Like, I think people jump to conclusions way too fast on the internet,
Yeah.
and that's the scariest part of being. In my opinion, that is the scariest part about being a public figure, especially a professional basketball player in the most, you know,
Yeah, like when you
most
express,
famous
when you
league in the
express your
world.
opinions.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just hard to say things that, you know, you have to dance a fine line when it comes to talking about religion, especially.
Yeah.
And I think Kyrie, his goal of putting out that movie on his Instagram and tweeting it out was to educate people. You know, Kyrie's all about educating people, even though he is
Right.
very controversial. He thinks the world is flat, you know, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
he wants to educate people, and I think that's what he wanted to do. That's what his intentions was. But I think people took it the wrong way, and people started jumping to conclusions. And I don't know if you saw, but there was like Jewish people like protesting the Brooklyn Nets. They were going
Oh,
out
yeah.
their protest.
Oh, yeah,
They're coming
I
to
saw
court
that.
side, you know, saying like, you know, we don't support anti, you know, stuff like that, you know. And it's like, oh man. And you know, I saw Kanye talk about it because, you know, Kanye has made some anti-Semitic comments,
Well,
which
yeah.
let me clarify. I don't support. You know, I'm a huge Kanye fan. I like his music. I'm a
too.
huge fan of
I
like what
love
he
it. I
does.
fucking love his music, dude.
Yeah, but like, you know, as a Kanye fan, you know, the stuff that he's been saying, I don't support. I don't think anyone should support. It's crazy.
I definitely do not support definitely what he's saying. Like before, I talk about the Kanye stuff. I think what made the Kyrie situation a little bit worse was the fact that even though he's clarified he didn't want to do any harm, he's not apologizing.
Yeah, I see.
Okay,
I mean, he's standing
'cause
his
it's like-
ground. He's saying like, that's where I'm from. I don't have to apologize for who I am. Like, I get it, but he should have. I don't know, man.
But
Like,
at least in that situation, you just say I'm sorry if you guys took it that way.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it that in that context.
Exactly.
You know? If he said that this would have been over. But it had to be the fact that he said that it looked like he wasn't sorry and that and now people make him it's now
Like-
look at him
like,
like he's
okay.
more of an asshole.
like here's the thing. I understand why he didn't apologize, but in today's society, oh, you're cracking up, by the way.
yeah,
okay, here's
I'm
the thing-
moving on. That's fine.
Oh, okay, yeah. Try not to do that because that's like messing with the audio. But what was I saying? Here's the thing. I understand. Like in today's society, you're gonna have to apologize. You're gonna have to clarify things because unfortunately, in today's internet world, people take things. They like to jump. They like to jump to conclusions. I've mentioned it before. I'm gonna say it again. People are going to reach for things. They're gonna try to put two and two together when that isn't what you're trying to intend. So at the end of the day, you're gonna have to clarify things, especially when you talk about something sensitive. And even though Kyrie's intentions may be pure, some people are not going to, I guess, perceive or interpret
Interpret
it that way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get it, man, but it's just like you're gonna have to clarify what you're saying, and I feel like he should have clarified in his
Yeah.
initial post and even when talking to the press. And I feel like this situation has blown over way too much. It shouldn't have gotten to this, and it should have reached. It shouldn't have reached to the news, man.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But like at least like like I don't support like like I can kind of get like behind like the whole thing with Kyrie, but like it still looks bad. Kanye on the other hand,
yeah, bro, yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck I'm supposed to
Here's the
say.
thing,
But
man.
what, like,
Here's the thing with
what am I
Kanye.
supposed to say? Oh, he made like great albums. Yes, he did. But like, oh,
That doesn't
no.
excuse what he said. And here's the thing,
Excuse
bro.
it. Like,
Kanye's been doing this for years. Like this is,
yeah.
if I'm being real here, this is nothing new. This is absolutely nothing new with Kanye, bro. From his running with Taylor Swift at the AMAs or some shit, like that caused a lot of controversy. That was hilarious as fuck, by the way. To him saying what slavery was a choice, which is insane. To now this, and he said other crazy shit before that I have not mentioned, but you already know what it is. If you know, you know.
It's definitely like
as-
you definitely like chalk it up to his bipolar disorder.
I would say he's just doing it for attention. He
But
knows what
for
he's
this,
doing.
like you can like
he's
I
been
know
doing
for a
this-
fact that for this, he's actually being 100% serious.
Yeah, I mean, he does feel that way. I'm gonna be real here. Kanye's an example of you're just not helping someone out. Like he just has yes men around him. If you notice the stuff that he's been saying, I feel like no one has really pulled him to aside and be like, "Yo, man, you gotta chill." Like I feel like I feel like a lot of people nowadays that are sane, that are regular, they have people around them to keep them in check. I feel like with Kanye, he does not have people around him to like pull him aside and be like, "Yo, man, you gotta chill." And if there are people that are like that, I don't know Kanye personally, but if there are people that are like that trying to help him, you can't be saved at that point. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, shit. And here's the thing, man. With all the controversy, Adidas is like trying to drop him. I don't know if he's been dropped by Adidas. I know for a fact Kanye wants to be dropped by Adidas. I think that's another reason why he's doing this.
Yeah, because I remember like there was like he went on an interview and said like, okay, I could say all this anti-Semitic shit, but is Adidas gonna drop me?
Yeah.
All these companies
And
drop me, like as soon as he put that out, would drop him.
Yeah, I definitely do think he wants to get out of his deal with Adidas, but I actually found out like this morning that apparently the reason why Adidas is so popping is because of Kanye. Apparently, because of Kanye with his like Yeezy brand, with his deal with Adidas, Adidas has brought in like 40% of its revenue just through Kanye alone. And I thought Kanye was like I thought Adidas, since like it's like so popular with football, aka soccer if you live in America.
Right.
Because it has like its deal with other athletes like Messi and all these other football international superstars, they would bring in a lot of revenue through football and their promotion and with their promotion in other countries around the world. But the fact that Kanye brings in 40% of their revenue, I don't know if it's yearly or in the past year, is absolutely insane. So if you drop someone like Kanye, bro, like you're losing 40% of your revenue. That's gonna affect your other Adidas athletes and just everything else in general. You're losing almost half of your generated revenue from one person alone. So I don't even know if dropping Kanye is the move. Even if Kanye wants to be dropped and Adidas wants to as well, from a company standpoint, from a company standpoint, you're basically chopping your revenue in half, which is not a good thing regardless of what Kanye does, right? That's just not good. But at the end of the day, Adidas is a billion-dollar company, right? They make billions every year, so it's not gonna be like the craziest thing, but it's still gonna affect them regardless. But speaking of Kanye, bro, I gotta cut me some Yeezys, bro. Like, I need to get me some Yeezys, bro.
Well, they're gonna be marked down.
Yeah, the prices are dropping because of his comments, which I've always wanted Yeezys. I do like them. I've worn them before. They're very comfortable, so I gotta get me some, bro.
So weird, bro. They look like fucking alien shoes.
Yeah, but which one's the 350s or the foam runners?
I think it's the 350s.
I think the 350s look regular. The foam runners look like alien shoes.
Oh yeah, the foam runners.
Yeah.
I'm not that much of a sneakerhead, so
yeah. I need to cop me some 350s though.
Run those like the foam runners. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are they wearing?
Yeah, the foam runners are ugly. I'm not gonna lie, that shit is ugly, bro. I don't know, man. They're probably comfortable. That's why.
Yeah, another thing that sucks too is the fact that like I'd be like listening to music, all of a sudden like one of his songs pops up, like things like All Falls Down, like Family Business, like anything from Late Registration, basically anything from Prime Kanye. So like things like Waves, Ultra Light Beam, all that shit. Like when that plays, I'm like, should I skip it? Because I'm like I don't know how I feel.
Really? Is that
Yeah, okay, because yes, his music is good, but like
wait?
I
So,
feel
so
like
you're saying like the controversy affects your listening experience to him?
it's because like in the fact that it's like that's literally all I can think about like in the moment.
Okay, I feel that. For me personally, it's like I'm able to differentiate that. So, for example, you know who XXX Tentacion is?
Yeah, he's definitely
So
had a lot of controversy too.
yeah, like he's known for beating up women and shit like that. But like when I listen to him, I can still turn up and stuff because I mean the guy is literally one of my favorite artists ever. And even though
Yeah,
he's
I
been in
mean,
these controversies, the music itself still fucking slaps. So regardless of what the artist does, at least like it's kind of interesting to see like other perspectives. For me, like
yeah.
I'm able to kind of separate the artist from the art, regardless of what the artist has done.
Mhm.
I'm still gonna listen to the music. Like people are still gonna be bumping R. Kelly, regardless what he's done. You know, he's done
Well,
some insane
yeah,
shit.
he's
People
definitely
are
done a
still
lot
gonna
of
people are still listening to him right now, which is
yeah.
insane to think about. But there are people like that. You know, I can do that with X. I can do that with Kanye. I can do that with like NBA YoungBoy. He has like 15 kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah, I
regardless of
definitely
what
do
the
still listen to it though.
yeah,
Like,
I know how you feel. It's
but
like
it just kind of feels a little weird, you
yeah,
know.
that's true. And like I heard like there was discussion of like Spotify trying to remove Kanye
Yeah,
from their streaming services, which would be
but it's weird
insane to
because
do.
it's like okay, but it's like favoritism at that point. It's like if you do it to Kanye, you have to do it to all these other
Exactly,
artists that
exactly.
have had controversy.
Mhm.
People like like Kodak, like R. Kelly.
Yeah, Kodak, X, R. Kelly, and they have insane streaming numbers. You know, well, you know what's
Yeah,
crazy? After X died, this man got so many streaming, like his numbers just exploded. And a lot of artists do that after they die. You know, R.I.P. them. You know, for example,
yeah.
PNB Rock,
Juice
Takeoff.
World,
You know, Juice World. As of recently, Takeoff, which I gotta say,
very
R.I.P.
sad.
That sucked, bro. I you
Yeah,
know no,
that very.
I gotta talk about Takeoff, bro. Takeoff is he is my favorite Migo. You know, when the Migos was popping in 2017, 2018, he was
Uh,
my favorite. I've been saying it for a while that he was the best, which was an unpopular opinion because Quavo and Offset. But
Quavo,
the
yeah.
thing with Takeoff, bro, like compared to those two, he was never in drama. He was never in controversy.
Yeah,
He always did his thing. Like he just
well, he was
hopped
one
on
of
a
like, the least
track.
problematic.
He was the least problematic. He was one of the least problematic people in the entire industry, not just hip hop,
Yeah,
but music in general. He would just hop on a track, do his thing, slide on the fucking beat, and just leave. Like that's all he did, and he did his job at a very well rate, man. Like just apparently he got shot by Quavo's assistant. So one of the people on the Migos side shot Takeoff by accident in the crossfire. Apparently there was an argument or something like that. I just feel bad, bro. Like he does not
yeah,
deserve that.
like
Like
it
it's just
sucks.
because like he did not deserve that, bro. It's just like
Yeah,
like what I learned from that is that you gotta know who's in your circle, bro. Like having
it's like
people
the
around
worst part is
that,
too,
it's just like yeah,
there's all these like rappers and stuff like that, that like people like Mac Miller, Juice WRLD, and all that stuff. Like they all just die out of like the blue, and it gets really sad because they never really had that much controversy surrounding them.
exactly. And it's like for me, for Takeoff, it hit different because it's just like he's never like in controversy. The biggest controversy Takeoff has ever been in was the interview with Migos and DJ Academics. Where
Yeah,
Academics is like, yo, why you left off Bad and Bougie? And he's like, who's left off Bad and Bougie? That shit was funny,
yeah,
bro. Like that,
that was funny.
the only controversy he's ever been in was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man.
Yeah.
Um, what was it? What was I
What,
gonna
yeah,
say? Keep
going
going.
back to like the Kanye stuff.
Yeah. What are you
Yeah,
saying?
I was like telling you like what we were doing, but yeah, it's like I totally get where you're coming from though. Like yes, he's definitely had a lot of controversy, a lot of trouble, and especially with this stuff, it's not helping his case.
Yeah.
But like he was very talented when it comes to like his music.
Kanye, right?
Yes,
Okay. Sorry, I was getting some water.
yeah, but like because like just think about like the run that he had from all the way from College Dropout, okay, to Life of Pablo. Just imagine all the albums that came out from then. Late Registration, 808s and Heartbreak. Like what else? Dark Twisted Fantasy. Like
I'm
look
not
at like
gonna lie.
Graduation.
I'm not gonna lie, bros. I think he's the LeBron of hip hop.
Oh no,
In
like
one sense, like
you could
the
definitely
music,
argue that
the
he's
mu-
like definitely like one of like a top
yo,
five, like
every
top 10
artist
rapper of all
ever, not even rapper, artists ever.
artist. Yeah,
Regardless,
I can say
I don't know, bro.
yeah.
Like his music is just, I understand why people don't like him because of like his antics, but
Yeah, for
strictly
sure.
music, talking strictly music, like this guy just does not like. I'm gonna be real, he does not miss. I think Jesus King maybe you miss because like that's gospel and gospel is not for me, but that's just a personal
I mean,
thing.
even Ghost Town for me was kind of meh.
Really, Could See
Yeah,
Ghost. I thought it was a great album.
like or not Ghost Town. It was Yay. Like that was the album actually. That's what I
Yee,
was. Yee or Yay, dude. Like
yay. Nah, it's yay. It's called yay.
it's Yay, yeah.
Yeah.
But like I keep like mispronouncing it always. But like Ghost Town like was like my favorite song on the album. That was like it.
Yeah, that song is fire as fuck.
Like
Okay,
like every other like album will have like more than one favorite song.
yeah, true. But speaking of albums, we know that Drake and 21 Savage, they're dropping their collab album, Her Loss, tonight actually.
I am
I'm
not
actually
looking forward to it.
I disagree. I'm actually
I
I'm looking much for it. I
consider
said
okay.
that wrong.
What?
I'm
Considering what
looking very
Drake
much to
gave
it, bro.
me-
I'm gonna be real
considering what
because
Drake gave us,
here's the thing with Drake, man. I don't, in my opinion, the last couple albums have not been that good. This is me personally, it's a subjective thing. If anyone's listening that have liked the past couple albums for Drake, for example, Honestly Nevermind, that's fair enough. Music is subjective, but I think this album is gonna be great considering that he has someone like 21 and he's going to be forced to rap. Like, of course, Drake is gonna do his singing thing. Of course, he's a singer as well, but I think having someone like 21 Savage is great to have because you're gonna have someone who has a lot of good, deep and dark bars. You know what I'm saying? 21 Savage raps about
Yeah.
killing a lot of people. He's from the hood. He came from a very dark, very rough lifestyle. So we get to see stuff like that. And also, 21 Savage is a great rapper. I love 21.
Mhm.
He's one of my favorite
Yeah.
artists out right now. His growth and development as a rapper has been great in the past 5 to 6 years. Ever since he came out from Double XL in 2016 with Uzi and Yachty and Kodak. You know, so
Mhm.
over the past 5 to 6 years, 21 has developed at a great rate and he makes great music. So I'm actually very excited to see what Drake and 21 can do together on a 16 album track, which is gonna be exciting to see. I don't know when this episode is gonna be dropping. I think tomorrow or on Saturday. I gotta plan this out, but I do want to say I'm gonna be listening to the album when it drops at 12. I'm gonna be real.
I'm gonna say this though. I'm a bit of a skeptic because because I'm gonna say this right now. Drake usually like when it comes to, like a lot of his like albums are like okay to good at best, but they've had a lot of good, very like hit songs, like
I
very
agree.
good songs.
I agree. I think when it comes to Drake, I feel like he's just not taking music as seriously anymore. He's just trying to have fun,
Yeah.
which is fine. Because I feel like with a lot of his albums compared to his first couple of albums, look at Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, So Far
Yeah.
Gone. Those first couple of mixtapes and albums, those are still considered. Those are considered Drake's best projects. Of course, he had some good projects after that with what's it called? If you're reading this is too late. His collab tape with Future, right? So he has some
Yeah.
good projects after that. But I feel like once he started to get into more poppy areas like Views and More Life and things of that nature, those albums, he started to try to go into his own lane, which is respectable, and he's very successful with it. However, me personally, I have not liked a full Drake album since If You're
No.
Reading This Is Too Late, and
Yeah,
that's
I've never
simply because I like rapping Drake. I'm not really a fan of singing Drake. I don't relate to him too much. I don't have girl problems. I don't really relate to a 36-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
at least when it comes to his rapping, I really like when Drake raps. So, for example, on Certified Lover Boy, I was not a fan of that album, but I love the song.
Honda was definitely better.
It was. Donda cleared. I don't know what that debate was, but but off Certified Lover Boy, I did not like the album, but I did really like the song. What's it called? No Friends in the Industry. That was a banger. I love that
That was a
song.
great song. Yeah.
And the song Fair Trade, when Drake raps, like when he actually raps, he can deliver, bro. And there's nothing wrong with Drake singing. I don't think he's a bad singer, but personally, he's just not my cup of tea. I'd rather listen to someone like Brent Faiyaz. But when it comes to Drake, man, I'm super excited with this album because he has someone that's going to be on this album that can rap. 21 can rap.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that I think Drake's gonna give us some good bars. So I'm actually pretty excited for it.
Yeah, because the biggest thing is that Drake as of right now, like recently he's become more of a marketable rapper, not a good rapper.
That's true. I mean, he is a
There's a
good
very big
rapper.
difference.
When he
There's
does
there's a very
try,
big difference, like in being like a good musician or versus being a marketable musician.
but here's the thing though with Drake, he's already established himself as a great
Yeah,
rapper. He has projects of him where he's fully rapping, like If You're Reading This Is Too Late, which is one, I would say, this is a hot take, one of the greatest mixtapes ever in hip hop. That mixtape is amazing. It is, and some people even say that's Drake's best project. In terms of rapping, I think it is his best project in terms of like rapping skill. If you want to become technical when it comes to like, flow and bars and shit, Drake is at his darkest and at his grimiest when it comes to rapping in that project. He's already proved it in the past in earlier projects. I feel like he's trying to dominate in other areas, which I respect, but
yeah,
I think it's a subjective taste. I'm not really into his singing, so I'm not really a fan of it when I hear it. But a lot of people do. How do I say it? A lot of people do relate to his like singing songs, his singing
yeah.
tracks, which explains
Mhm.
why a lot of those tracks do well. They do well in terms of streaming, and they are popular. And Drake's gonna
Yeah.
sell regardless. Like Drake can make an album of him shitting in the toilet, and that's gonna sell 100K copies first week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, because he's marketable.
yeah. And he's established. He's been doing this for like 15 years. So it's
Another
nothing
thing
new.
too, like yeah, like because like you know how you draw like the thing with like singing Kanye or not singing Kanye, singing Drake.
Yeah.
Because some people don't relate to that. It's also another thing too with like Donda's like if you listen to a lot of the songs in that like album, Kanye doesn't like rap or sing that much in them. He relies a lot mainly on like his features.
Well, he's always been like that as well. Because he
Yeah,
produces a lot of the tracks as well. He's also a producer. So he does.
yeah,
He when it comes to Kanye, he likes to bring a lot of people on his album, which is nothing wrong with that. And
yeah.
he's proven to make
It's weird
songs
because like
that are great by himself. Like he's been doing, like I said with Drake, he's already been established, so he can really do anything he wants on the track as long as the music's good. People will be satisfied. You know what I'm saying?
mhm, yeah. But like it's crazy. It's really funny for like with Kanye. It's like he can really bring in like anyone like I don't just like randomly. Like they only had to be in the rap industry. You can just bring them on like on a song and it'll work.
Mhm. Cause he's him. That's why.
What?
Cause he's him. That's why.
Yeah, because he is him. Like no, like I remember like he brought like Elton John on All of the Lights,
Yeah.
and like it did work
I
really
mean,
well.
oh, he's not a nobody though.
He's not a nobody. Yeah. Oh, okay. This might be a hot take here for me. Like for I don't know if like people already hear this. Rick Ross.
Yeah.
When a lot of the stuff that Rick Ross like does on his own, that sounds pretty shit.
Hey man.
That verse though on "Devil in the New Dress,"
Triple S
fucking
too.
goated.
Yeah. Amazing.
Like-
Amazing. Yeah. But I would say like, if you feel that way, that's fine. I don't think there's gonna be any Rose fans coming after you, bro. Like it's okay. If you feel that way, that's fine. Is there
I will say
any
this
other
too, though, like-
artists that you're excited to hear? Like any upcoming albums or no?
Those are okay. So, you know Joji, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, his album is literally releasing like at midnight.
Oh, tonight. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right. That's
you
cool.
know, like Joji like has always like
Isn't that
The one thing he does
Filthy
really well-
Frank? Isn't that Filthy
yeah,
Frank?
Filthy Frank. Yeah,
Okay. That's awesome
Something he's
though.
like-
It's cool to see like a YouTuber transition to an actual
yeah.
artist.
It's
and
crazy
be
how like
successful. You know what I'm saying?
one
Go
of
ahead.
one of the things he does best is making very very depressing songs.
Yeah, that's true.
And just making you like just wail your eyes out, dude. Like it's he has like a few on like every album. Like on one of his like ballads, one "Slow Dancing in the Dark," dude. That shit like hits me.
Yeah, I got you.
Like it's so powerful. Like and keep this in mind. This is the same dude who ate toenails, ate ass hair. Like bro, how the fuck did this dude rap?
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy. But like other than that though, like there's not very many albums I'm exactly like to that excited for. Like
yeah,
you know.
I'm not gonna lie. We needed this Drake 21 album. Hopefully
I'm
it's good. Man.
I'm still a little skeptical,
I'm
dude.
my,
Like,
fi-
I just
my,
don't
fing-
know
my
about Drake.
fingers are crossed that this album is good because we need
dude,
some more music.
okay.
Because if I'm
Okay,
being real
I
here,
accept
no, if I'm being real here, the Kendrick album that dropped earlier this year, that shit came and went. I think it's a good album, but Me personally, I did not go back and listen to it. Like I
It's
listened to
definitely
it the
not
first
okay.
time, and it was like, all right.
It's definitely not my favorite album. It's still pretty good
I
though.
think
It's
it's
still good
solid.
though.
Yeah, I think it's good.
It's like an 8 to an 8.5
Like
for me.
the content, like the content overall, and the way he delivered it was solid. But it isn't something
Yeah.
that like you bump in the car, you bump in the gym. If I'm being real, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was not made for to listen to it in the club or at the gym or when you're bumping
Yeah.
in the car with the homies. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like, we need more music like that, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. Cause,
Right.
like, how'd you feel about the Lil Baby album that dropped a couple weeks ago?
I thought it was okay.
Same. I thought the features were good, but the overall album was too long,
Mm-hmm.
and there was no Gunna feature as well, so it was annoying.
No, but like also too another thing with like Kendrick is that I mean Kendrick's the definition of quality over quantity
Yep. Same thing with J. Cole
because
as well.
he puts out okay sure like he only has what like maybe like 4 or 5 albums if I remember correctly
Yeah.
but like all the times he's put out an album it's always been very very good
Yeah.
like To Pimp a Butterfly which is my favorite album from Kendrick
Yeah. What's up?
like Damn.
Yeah, he's made some good projects overall.
Yeah,
But,
he's made like absolutely great projects, especially in the Black Panther album too, which I guess you can count.
That's true. Okay, let's get into our last topic. I didn't write it down. How do you feel about the current anime season? Chainsaw Man, Bleach, Mob Psycho, My Hero, Spy Family.
Yeah, this is the one time we actually talk about anime.
Yeah, let's get to the anime portion of our podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna have like anime. We're gonna have like anime portions that literally just like scattered throughout like each episode or something like
We
that.
gotta talk about it, bro. We have to talk about it.
Yeah, there's literally gonna be episodes where we're just not gonna talk about it. Just watch. Like
Yeah.
I'm predicting it right now.
Okay, so
But-
so for this anime season of fall, which anime do you think has caught your eye?
That's how my eye the most. I'm gonna go with an underrated pick because I could say Chainsaw Man and just be very generic,
Yeah,
but Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
that's a good pick, bro. That's a
Okay.
really good pick. I have not
Like-
watched it, but I've seen some clips, bro.
It's-
It looks
okay,
elite.
it's
I'm
very
gonna get to
good.
it. I'm gonna get to it one
It's
day.
very good.
So wait, so let me ask you: is it based off the video game?
There's a lot of things that are based off the video game. You don't have to play the game to understand it. You
Okay.
can literally just watch the show and like you'll be fine.
All right.
But like you definitely will pick up on a lot of more things if you do play the game first.
Yeah, I feel that.
And like okay, the OSTs in it are amazing. Like just like the color palette looks so cool for some reason. Like I don't know what it is.
I agree. I really like the character designs and the color palette.
Yeah, the
Like,
character designs are
the,
amazing.
The
Yeah.
tone of how the characters look is very nice. Do you know
Yeah.
who the studio, like what studio animated?
I think it was a
Cyberpunk?
Studio Trigger.
Oh, okay. I'm not too familiar with them, but they did a great job. So shout out them. I do want to say, like, I'm gonna give you my generic answer. It's Chainsaw Man.
Obviously.
I think the adaptation has been great so far. We're only
Adaptation
are
definitely
we
good.
4 episodes in, right?
Yeah.
At the time of this recording.
Here's
And
here's my one problem with it
Oh
so
wait,
far.
wait, let me wait. Hold on. For Chainsaw
you
Man,
just-
at least, like I think like we haven't gotten that one episode yet that really banged. So for example, Demon Slayer season 1, where they had like that, we had episode 19, right? We had that fight with Tanjiro and Rui. With JJK season 1, we had like multiple episodes like with Gojo going crazy.
You
we
could,
had,
you
like-
could also argue like the Todo Yuji and Hanami fight.
Yeah, that fight was fire. We haven't gotten a moment like that yet in Chainsaw Man, which is
Yeah.
up, which I do want to say is going to be coming up. I've read the manga, so I do know what
I have
is
not.
coming soon. So there's going to be like a crazy fight that is going to be happening soon. But I do want to say that at least with Chainsaw Man, the way that they've been adapting it, Studio Mappa once again is delivering this season. The hype there's been so much hype for Chainsaw Man, and at least in my opinion, it's been deserved. The adaptation has been great. The fights have been great. I do like the characters. The animation for the fights, I've seen some criticism for it, and while I understand that sometimes the animation can be a little bit clunky, I think it's been great overall.
Oh yeah.
I think it's been great. I think the latest episode has been the best episode so far in terms of like action and animation. When
Yeah.
we saw Denji going crazy against, I forget which devil it was. I don't know the name.
The Leech Devil. Or the Bat Devil.
Yeah.
One
When
of
he,
the-
no, not it wasn't the Bat Devil. The devil after.
It was the Leech Devil.
The Leech Devil, yeah. When he like ran around her and then used her like tentacles to like wrap her and then hit her with that one punch.
And keep in mind
then-
too, like the dude was like died. It was like literally like
Yeah,
dying.
he was dying. He had like one arm, and then Aki hits him with the con. That shit was hard. You know what I'm
That
saying?
scene was fire. Like that was a great. That was a
That was a
cool
great scene.
scene.
That was a great scene. So like
Yeah.
that's like the best action sequence so far. We're gonna get even more stuff like that, which
Yeah.
I think will elevate Chainsaw Man as well. Another
Yeah.
anime that's been really catching my eye has been Bleach. I'm a huge Bleach fan. I've been watching Bleach for a while,
Yeah.
and I feel like with the adaptation of the Thousand Year Blood War arc, it's been good. The art style is really good. There's a
Mhm.
lot of blood. They're not censoring a lot of stuff in the Thousand Year Blood War arc.
That's good.
One big
Mhm.
criticism I had when watching the Bleach anime was how much they censored a lot of stuff when at least comparing it to the manga, and when looking
Mhm.
at the Thousand Year Blood War arc, at least in the first 4 or 5 episodes, they have really delivered in terms of showing how powerful these Stern Raiders have been, and showing the desperation and a lot of deaths. We've seen a lot of
Mhm.
blood, body parts are flying everywhere, people are
Mhm.
getting decapitated. Are you watching Bleach? I haven't asked.
No, no, no.
Have you watched Bleach before or no?
I've watched like an episode, and then I just kind of stopped.
Okay, I feel you on that. But I would say though, like for the people that are listening, Bleach so far has been great. If you've watched all of Bleach and have not started the War arc, yeah, I highly recommend you should, because it's been great so far, man.
Well,
Um,
like well, like I do agree though that like Chainsaw Man's been good. My one gripe with it is the fact that like everyone's like overhyping it to the max.
I feel that, man. I feel
It's
you.
because okay, dude. Okay, I get it. It's a new anime. We're only 4 episodes in, though. Okay, like once we get to like the hype arc and stuff like that, then you can start calling it peak and stuff like that. Yeah, you could overhype the fuck out of it. But like, just wait a bit because we're still very early into the show,
Yeah, I feel that. I
and I think that's
understand.
like
I think
like,
that's anime
right.
fans in general. They see one
Yeah,
thing and then suddenly over exaggerate, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing.
yeah,
I can definitely
but
understand as a Boruto fan. Sometimes there's some bad. Sometimes there's like a bad episode, and
you
then all
guys
of a
actually
sudden,
exist.
yes, we do. I'm a Boruto YouTuber. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, you are. But I will say this: fall 2022 like has been pretty good for anime. I'm very excited though for winter 2023 though,
What's
and
happening
like
there?
spring. So, things like okay for 2023, things that have been confirmed are projects like Jujutsu Kaisen season 2,
Yeah, that's
and so those
dropping. Isn't that dropping next year in the winter? Like
yeah. hmm
December 2023 or
I think it's still like January. Like
really? I don't know if there's
yeah,
information on that. That's weird.
I
Oh,
thought I saw they definitely confirmed it. They said for 2023, but I think they meant like spring 2023, like whatever, like close enough.
yeah. But
Um,
I do want to say though, I'm excited for season 2 of JJK, because
yes,
as
that
someone
is like
who's read the manga,
yeah.
I think season 2 is gonna make season
Yeah,
1 look like
I
garbage.
have read
Like,
like I have read some of Shibuya. I don't know like the full details. I do know like a very major character that like isn't there.
yeah, that's true. And I mean, season 2 is gonna make season 1 look terrible.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I think that's the reason why like a lot of like manga readers were hyping up the show because they knew about that arc,
Yeah.
and it's like they were hyping up, and that's why it was very overhyped. And I'm very excited to see why. I haven't read the manga yet. I will probably at some point once I'm finished reading like a lot of the other stuff and like finishing all the anime. Then like yes, I probably will get to it.
Yeah. Okay.
But another thing that I'm very very excited to see is Solo Leveling.
Go into that, man. I'm not really too informed with that
So
series.
okay, if you like to the people who to like the listeners, like if you have not read Solo Leveling, it's a Korean manhwa, which is basically manga but Korean, obviously. It's basically like basically in the comic kind of manga form, like but you do read from left to right like normal and not right to left, not like most manga. But the whole premise, it's basically just these dungeons that have monsters in them, and then the people who kill them and clear those dungeons are people called hunters, and you get paid to do so. And if you're like, and it's all kind of based on like a strength. So if like, and it's based on like STE, like how most like tier lists are, like S rank or S tier, E like E tier and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like S tier kind of means like you're like someone like the strongest out there, and you make like a lot of money
Okay.
because you can go into these high level dungeons, and then the stuff that you get from there is worth a lot. But if you're E ranked, you're like weak as hell.
Yeah.
Like you can because the whole thing is that even if you're weak, if you're an E ranked hunter, you're still stronger than an average than most people.
Yeah. I feel that.
Your strength is still above average, but but like you don't really make as much money as like most people, and it's very hard to find work.
Yeah. Okay.
And the main character is literally the weakest hunter of mankind. He's like he does not know how to fight, and like he does not make a lot of money,
Yeah.
and he's like very like frail and everything. But then like one day, he goes into this dungeon with like his like group, and then most of them die.
Oh, okay. So now it's like all up to him and shit. To...
Yeah, but then all of a sudden though, like he gets like he supposedly like he passes out like in the dungeon and then wakes up in a hospital, only to find out he has this ability where he can literally level up.
Oh, okay.
And in that
That's
world,
the
like
name.
you can't level up like twice. Once you level up, like that's your rank.
Oh, okay.
And
I got
so
you, bro.
yeah,
All right,
and
you
then
have
like
to explain the entire plot. I got
that's
it.
why it's called Soul 11 because
Yeah.
he's the only one that can do
That's
it.
a good premise, man. Anything else you want
And
to say? Like any other anime or nah? Because we should wrap
I
up.
just can't wait for it to be animated, dude.
I
Like
got you, bro. I got you, man. We discussed a lot. We talked about a lot of stuff, man. I do want to say, if you're a first time listener, please consider subscribing, liking, comments. I'll have the links for to follow us. Make sure you follow us. Should I link your Instagram or something?
nah, don't
Not
don't
yet?
follow me. Give
Okay.
me all the clout.
Alright, bro. If you want to see more content about anime, I review Boruto and Jujutsu Kaisen now. Definitely click the link in the description for my YouTube channel. You should also join the Discord. I have my own Discord channel. I have my own Discord. I'll link that in the description as well. Like I said, if you're new here, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, that's the very first episode of the.
I will say too.
Wait, hold on,
if
hold on. You're cutting me off. That is that is the first episode for the Salty Ones podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. What are you gonna say? Sorry.
Since I don't have a YouTube channel like you or like a lot of like socials that you can like see me at, because like a lot of them I try to keep private. But like if you do want to like kind of see me, like I am in Meek's or Meek's server, so if you do want to see me, you should join it so that you can actually interact with me. That's if you want to. I don't really care though.
Yeah,
But
bro, make sure you jump in the server if you do want to talk to us, man. Yeah.
basically just verbatim from what Meek said. I have a very untraceable internet presence, so
Hey,
it's kind of like I keep a lot of my stuff private. So
hey man, don't worry about it. Hey, that's the very first episode of the Salty Ones podcast.
Yep.
I think we did a good job. We got a lot of topics down.
yeah.
I think we got everything down, and yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Or next week, whenever.
Yeah.